Has there been any time that the NCC has undergone an analysis?
Yes, of the entire country.
Of the entire coverage.
Because all votes count.
Okay, no problem.
To be disenfranchised, Mr. Speaker, sir.
I think we'll take those. We'll take. I think we'll only take 2 questions. We'll take Idem and we'll take Honorable Chinda. And that I'm sure that would, unless there's anything else. Go ahead. Please note the questions as they come.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Idem Unyime, member representing Ukanafun, Urugunam Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to put this question to NCC regarding the position of the House as at yesterday. The question is it possible to create a platform that allowed for offline uploading of results where there is no network, like in the case of offline SIM registration and some bank services, pending when the collation officers get to where they can access internet, then the entire data will drop successfully. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chinda. And the last will be Honorable Chawai. Honorable Chinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. Kingsley Chinda, I represent Obiabo Federal Constituency. I'm from Rivers State. Sir, I want to ask if NICOM-SAT is still functional and under your ministry. If the answer is yes, whether this country has a satellite facility. If the answer is yes, whether that will be of any assistance in what we are considering. And then is there any part of this country that satellite cannot cover? Now, secondly, I will also want to find out the type of network that these local women in our communities use in transacting their monetary business, because you can find them everywhere. What type of communication do they use? Can that type of communication also be of assistance to us? Then thirdly, how long would it take you if we have problems in any part of this country? How long would it take you to fix it? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Chawai. That back row has been a problem since yesterday. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My question is somewhat similar to the question that the Chairman Communications asked, but this time around, I want it broken down, either state by state or region by region. That's the network coverage.
Sorry, we didn't hear that.
Okay, I said my question is similar to what the Chairman Communication asked in terms of network coverage, but this time around broken down into either state by state or region by region. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's shoot. Who's taking the first question?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. From the questions asked, forgive me, honourable members, I'm not used to this. Mr. Speaker, sir, from the line of questioning, I feel that largely there are technical issues So with Mr. Speaker's kind permission, I will hand over to the Executive Commissioner for Technical Services, Engineer Obade Maska, to deal with the majority of these questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, ECS. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, good morning. I must confess I didn't catch portions of the question, so what I will crave your indulgence is to permit me answer the ones I've heard correctly, and then you will kindly remind me of any that I may have missed out, please. The first refers to whether the Commission has done any analysis on network coverage nationwide in respect of either captured or uncaptured, which I take to mean probably served or unserved areas. And then the second member followed up that with requiring to know if this can be broken down into states. I must say here that yes, we have this data. We have it nationwide, we have it on state basis, and we have it even on the basis of services, whether it is 2G, 3G, 4G, that's LTE. We have all this analysis. The second question refers to the possibility of hacking. Yes.
Before you go to that,
Yes.
I believe the question the Chairman Communications asked was that if you have the analysis, and I think the follow-up question, with that, not to waste time, is that can you tell us about your analysis and what the coverage is?
All right, sir. He asked if we have it, so I just said yes. Sorry, Mr. Speaker. We did an analysis of network coverage, and I like to venture here to say probably what the question wanted to know was probably in respect of if we did anything maybe preparatory to the elections. We did in 2018 conduct network coverage studies in respect of all polling units in the country. We found out we had about 119,000 polling units, about 119? 119. We were able to get the coordinates of about 109,000, and we plotted this across the map of the country, and we superimposed on it the network coverage we had, service-wise. We plotted 2G coverage, 3G coverage, and LTE coverage. And we were able to see that about half of the polling units were covered with 2G/3G services. That is both 2G and 3G services. Roughly about 50.3% of those. Then about 49.7% did not have any coverage at all, or had only 2G. All right. Yeah.
Okay, before we move on to the next question, let me be clear.
Yes, sir.
Let me be clear. You conducted an analysis of coverage nationwide in 2018.
Yes, sir.
And from your analysis, we had about 119,000 polling units.
Yes, sir.
And out of the 119, you said 49 point something. Let's just round it up to 50%.
Okay.
Had coverage, and 50% did not have coverage. Is that your testimony?
50% had 3G coverage and 2G together. About 49-point-something% had only 2G, and about 8,000 polling units had none at all.
Okay.
About 8,000 polling units.
Okay,
had
this
none at all.
for some of us that are not technologically savvy, what we're trying to find out is for the purpose of transmission of votes. When you say 2G, when you say 3G, is 2G, can this exercise be done by 2G?
Thank you, Chairman, sir. I wish IDEC were here to actually take this question, because I would be venturing out to say things perhaps that are not really under the mandate of NCC. From a personal standpoint, from what I could tell of what is required, it's only 3G that could give that kind of cover. I mean, that could give that kind of transmission.
Okay.
In full, I mean.
Okay. So
Yes.
only 3G
Yes.
can adequately transmit.
Yes.
Only 3G.
Yes, sir.
So, but if you combine 3G and 2G, the combination of 3G and 2G gave you 50%.
Yes, sir.
So if it's only 3G, it may be lower than that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, the 3G, the polling units that fell under 3G coverage, let's just say the stations that had 3G coverage came to about 50%.
Okay, 50%.
Yes.
All right.
On the 2G, there were others that also had 2G, but they had only 2G, no 3G coverage at all.
Okay. Now I can hear somebody saying, what about 4G?
4G is usually where you have 3G only. Yeah.
It's only where you have 3G only?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
So it basically comes to the same thing.
It comes to something. Yes,
He's saying that 4G is only available where you have 3G, and you have 3G only in 50%. So it's saying the same thing. So we'll move on to the next question. The next question was to do with hacking. That's what he said.
Yes, sir. The question is whether it is possible to hack this. I'm sure it's open knowledge to all here that there is no system that is safe from hacking. You can do your best to secure it, but no system is 100% hack-free. I'm sure members will have read about the elections in the US in 2016, and there is widespread belief that that election was hacked by the Russians. Every day you read about hackers breaking into banks, insurance companies, travel industry, and all sorts of industries. So hacking is a possibility always, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. I think the next question came, do you remember? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, the third question refers to data that is captured offline in an unserved area, moved to a served area to upload. Yes, this is possible. It's possible that an area that is not covered, you could record it and then physically move to some other location, but you can't guarantee this kind of movement. It doesn't compare with direct transmission.
It doesn't what?
It doesn't compare with direct transmission from the site, from the source.
It doesn't compare with direct transmission.
From the source.
If you have to move somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just wanted to be clear. Next question.
Just about which comes out.
This comes out.
No.
Well, sir, the niche CAPSAT services, I don't really know. It's certainly an operator within the country. I haven't seen anyone that uses it. I can't comment about that. I'll strongly recommend that maybe this CAPSAT gets invited to state their case here. There is the issue of the network used by market women who seem to operate everywhere. I assure you, I don't know if by this, so the questioner is referring to the use of POS or...
The use of what POS?
Is it?
Is that what you said? Okay.
Is that the reference? Because if it's POS, POS carries a SIM. You cannot operate a POS where you don't have network. It's not possible. Yes, sir. Sorry, Sam? Which two?
I think
if you are to use POS, you have to insert a SIM, and that SIM cannot work where there is no network. It cannot work where there is no network.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's just address. I think there was a question.
And then the last question I have here is, if we have a problem in any part of the country, how long does it take to fix it? I think this will depend on the problem, obviously. There are all sorts of issues that can arise.
Wait.
Night concert. Yes, what about night concert?
I didn't get your answer on how long it takes to fix if there's a problem.
It depends on the problem, sir, because I mean, if it's vendors, for instance, getting a fiber, first you have to locate where it is, and in some instances you have to even arrange for security because it can be. Sorry. It will depend on what the problem is. The most common here, for instance, is like fiber cuts. People cut fibers either by mistake or out of sheer vandalism. And I think the length of time depends on where the cut takes place, the accessibility of that place, and the safety of the engineers that will go out to fix it. So a network outage can be fixed from anything from an hour up to a couple of days, depending on the problem. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. We'll take the final question from the minority leader. Yeah. When you answer the minority leaders, the last question, you add the issue of night concert, which was not answered.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name remains Honorable Godwin Elmelu, and I represent the good people of Anyocho Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. I have two questions for you.
Yes, sir.
The first question is, I've watched you the way you have been answering your question. Are you usually like this, that you answer with
Honorable Lumelu, come on.
Okay.
If you have a question to the issue.
I wanted to ask whether is it a stage fright or...
I didn't notice any such thing.
Okay. Number two, the second one, I'm going to read it out, and what you will do is to say whether it is correct or not.
Okay.
The Nigerian Communications Act, NCA number 19 of 2003, Part 4, established the Universal Service Provision, under which the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, was established to facilitate the achievement of national policy goals for universal access and universal service to information and communication technologies, which is called ICTS, in rural and unserved and underserved areas in Nigeria. Now, the fund is being managed to facilitate the widest possible access to affordable telecommunication services for greater social equity and inclusive for the people of Nigeria. Now, the issue is the USPF receives 2.5% of the part of the telecommunication service providers, and one of the core roles of the principles of USPF is to provide co-location and infrastructure sharing services in unserved or underserved areas of the country, which shall be obligatory for operators and service providers to share and provide telecom service for the area the infrastructure is displayed. Is this a true position?
It is true, sir, that USPF is for unserved and served areas, underserved areas.
No, we're not asking.
You are right, sir. Go.
Okay. Okay, minority leader, is that it? Yes, answer your question. Can you please answer the question of night comsat and then we'll move on, please? Night comsat.
The night concert issue, please, it's best you invite night concert for that, please.
Order, please. Order, please. Honorable Sergeant Ogu, resume your seat. Honorable Uji Kingsley, resume your seat. Honorable Chinda, resume your seat.
Go ahead and answer your question. Whoever cares to listen can listen. Answer the question on night concert.
Night concert. Sir, I can't speak for night concert. I'm not familiar with all the services they offer. I will suggest that maybe the House invites night concert here, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, thank you for all the information. I believe members are now equipped, at least better than they were yesterday, to make informed decisions. You can leave. You can take your leave. Thank you very much.